Hey guys, so today I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about my Whole Foods plant-based journey that I've been on over the past several years. So I'm a vegetarian currently, and I have been for the past 10 or 12 years, and I actually used to think that I was healthy because I wasn't eating meat. But most of my diet consisted of cheese. I would dump entire bags of cheese in any casserole that I was making. And I also ate a lot of processed food and drank soda like it was water. It wasn't really until my grandma had a stroke that I started thinking about my diet and starting to take it seriously. I had thought about the idea of going vegan in the past, but kind of brushed off the idea because I thought I could never give up cheese. I'm from Wisconsin, so it's part of my blood. And the main reason that I went vegetarian in the first place was because I watched some documentaries like Food Inc. and I started really feeling bad for the animals, and I felt like I couldn't actually contribute to their suffering and continue eating them. So yeah, I started watching more documentaries and just doing research and looking up articles and recipes and things like that about how to eat more plant-based. One of the first things that I stopped doing was cooking with oil, because I learned that in Forks Over Knives you can do a method called water sauteing, where you add a tablespoon or two of water to the pan that you're sauteing, and it'll prevent the vegetables from sticking to the pan. I haven't used oil in my cooking in several years at least, I think. And I started tinkering around with some more plant-based recipes, but I was still eating my fair share of cheese and still consuming quite a bit of soda. It wasn't really until I read Eat to Live this past summer in 2019 that I started to take my health seriously and realize the impact that diet can play in your health. And there are so many chronic diseases in this country that could be entirely preventable if people would just change their diets. So one of the first things that I started doing, which is actually super easy to incorporate, is just started making a green smoothie every day, and I start my day with that. So I'll include a big bunch of spinach or kale, and then I'll chop up a banana and put that in there. I add a tablespoon of ground flax seeds, and then I'll put usually some kind of berry because they're high in antioxidants. So currently I'm using blueberries in my recipe. And then I use some other frozen fruit to fill the rest of it. So right now I'm using frozen mangoes, but you could use frozen strawberries or just any frozen fruit that you like. And then I just add some water to fill up the rest of it, and then just blend it and drink it. And it's great, and it's a great way to sneak in some nutrients because you're basically eating a salad without even having to think about it, and it doesn't taste like a salad. One of the other things I've been doing since I read Eat to Live is trying to eat a salad as one of my main meals every day. So I've been doing it for lunch. I usually only do it during the week because on the weekends my eating habits are a little bit unscheduled and I just kind of eat whatever I feel like. But during the week I'm trying to make one giant salad, and that's my lunch for the day. And then I've also been making my own homemade salad dressing because a lot of the salad dressings are very heavy in oil and fats, so making your own is a great way to control that. And at this point I'm pretty much eating majority whole food plant-based, but I still allow myself on the weekends or just occasionally a treat, like I'll go get a pizza or have enchiladas with cheese on them or something like that. But the majority of what I'm eating for lunches and dinners, at least during the week, is whole food plant-based. So I feel like that's a good start, considering where I came from like a year ago. And like I said, I went vegetarian initially because I felt bad for the animals because I watched some documentaries like Food Inc. But now that I've learned so much along this journey, the reasons are much stronger, and they now include improving my health and helping protect the environment because the meat industry has a huge impact on the environment. And I just want to make sure I'm doing as much as I can to ensure that I have better health for the future, because I don't want to be living a limited life in the future because of the choices I made when I was younger. I've also stopped buying all soda. I don't keep it in the house. I will drink it if I go out to eat or something like that, or if I'm at somebody's house and they have soda, but just not keeping it in the house has helped reduce it dramatically. I also used to eat tons of cereal, like Reese's Puffs and all those sugary cereals. I would basically just eat those for meals and pour huge bowls of those and drink it with regular cow milk. But I've cut out all cow milk now, and I'm only drinking plant-based milk. I started making my own oat milk also, which is actually super easy. You just take 1 cup of oats and mix in 4 cups of water, pop it in a blender, strain it, and you have oat milk. You can make it fancy by adding vanilla extract or dates for a sweetener or something like that. But I haven't been doing that recently because I've been going very heavy on the meal prep and I just can't manage making oat milk on top of that right now, but it is a super cheap and easy option if you're interested. And some of the resources that I have been using and have helped me along this journey that might be helpful to you also. Forks Over Knives, especially on Netflix, that was very helpful, and it shows more of like the health side of things, and it gives some good ideas for getting started on your journey. They also have a cookbook and an app that I also use, and those are great resources to have. And also on Netflix, there's the movie Game Changers. That was a good documentary about athletes and their plant-based journey and how that impacts their performance. And one of my favorite resources was the book called Eat to Live. That one really outlines the health impacts of all of what we eat and how to change our diet to be the most healthful possible. They even break down sample menu plans and recipe ideas and things like that. Another book that I read that I thought was super helpful was In Defense of Food, and that one, the main takeaway from that is eat food, not too much, mostly plants. That's his kind of mantra throughout the whole book. So even if you don't read that book, that takeaway is really helpful because it shows eating in moderation and eating real food, focusing on real food, which is the idea behind whole foods, plant-based, is you want to be eating real actual food and produce instead of just the heavily processed crap that we normally eat. And mostly plant-based is just the idea of eating basically a vegan, whole food, plant-based diet. You can still occasionally enjoy other things, but as long as the majority of what you're eating is that healthy, whole food, plant-based diet, it should be okay. Another useful resource is Nutrition Facts. He has a YouTube channel which has lots of good videos breaking down scientific studies, as well as a website, and he has all kinds of helpful information on there. And then two of the other channels I watch on YouTube are Mike the Vegan and Well Your World. They're both great resources with lots of recipes talking about the benefits of eating in this way. I plan on posting more recipe videos showing kind of what I eat and how I create these whole food plant-based meals. So hopefully that'll be helpful to you. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment box, or if there's anything you'd like to see me try and make. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.